I want to deep dive into a question today that I got about wardrobes. How do I create a wardrobe that actually fits my real life? It's a topic that I get a lot of questions about. So I thought, let's sit down and let's talk all things minimalist wardrobe. And by the way, if you're new here, hey, what's up? I'm Maddie. On this channel, I talk all things creating space to thrive as a woman. So let's get to the question. How do I create a wardrobe that actually fits my real life as a woman? I know that it can be very overwhelming. It was for me. When I first encountered this idea that my stuff is actually holding me back, it was just this mindset change because for so long I bought clothes to make me happy. I would spend hours on Zara. It was just like one of my favorite pastimes to shop, to create this fantasy self of my own self and fill up carts, buy them on impulse, and then just have this like excitement, this hit, just like any other drug, of getting new clothes and playing around with this new identity. And I thought it was just like a cute thing about me, about being a woman. This was an addictive habit that I had that unfortunately a lot of other women also struggle with, because we live in an era of overconsumption. We live in a country that has normalized overconsumption, even for middle-class Americans. We are being suffocated by our stuff. When I think about designing a life, and specifically a closet that when you wake up in the morning and you open the door to, that you might feel refreshed, that you might feel supported, that you might just feel lighter and happier, and like it's the beginning of this new low stress life, then I think it's okay to be weird. I know it's weird when I talk about owning just 10 items of clothing. So how do you create a wardrobe that actually fits your real life? I think you take all of it out physically. I would put all of your clothes out on the bed and just put back the literal, doesn't matter what number, but I think picking a number before you start putting things back is really helpful. Because just like when you pick your top 3 favorite movies, it's not about really what the best movies in the world are when someone asks you that question. But it's an exciting and interesting question because it requires you to eliminate all movies except 3. It shows you a little bit about what's really important to you and what matters to you because of what you had to eliminate. If you want to declutter as quickly as possible, get out of maybe box mentality and stop feeling like you're losing it in your life, then I would give you that boundary, because often boundaries set us free. We're so anti-boundaries. We just want to have everything available to us all the time. Boundaries in my closet. It's helpful. I love the phrase use it or lose it when it comes to clutter, because you hear the spark joy thing. Do I believe this to be valuable or beautiful? And that's nice, but I think for a lot of people it's confusing. And what you need when you're decluttering is clarity. Do you use it? Do you use it every day? Then keep it. Do you not? Then let's lose it. Because let's be real, I watched a TED Talk once. I'll have to link it in the description. But it was this guy that previously worked on hoarders. He just comes and professionally cleans people's spaces that are extreme on some level. And I think it was in his TED Talk that he was like, because if you don't lose it, as in lose your clutter, then you're gonna lose it. And I resonate with that. As a woman, we are so affected by our physical possessions. Men can look around a cluttered room and not feel like they need to make excuses about it or apologize for it when friends come over. But if you have a girlfriend come over and your house is a mess, the first thing I say is, listen, I'm sorry, so sorry about the house. I want to live a less stressed life. I look around and I see modern American women shooting through life on cortisol. Stuff does contribute to stress. And I think the one thing we can all agree on is that stress is the #1 driver of disease, of inflammation, of just mortality of all kinds. It's stress. And I would say most Americans would probably describe, especially women, their lives at home as stressful. And then there's the letting go. There's a whole spectrum of ways to do this. For me, what works the best with letting go is donating. And there's actually a really good reason for this. I often get the question should I sell or should I donate this? If you are already overwhelmed with decluttering, if you're already feeling like your plate is overfilled and what your body is craving right now is a life of less, lower stress living, you do not need to create a part-time side hustle just so you can make $500 to $1,000. You let me know in the comments, but I think that it's so much more important that we have this mindset shift That's what's going to change your life and your finances forever. Exiting maybe box mode. Exiting this idea that stuff is going to make us happy. Quitting that addiction. He who buys what he doesn't need steals from himself. So what if instead of recouping the money, you started recouping your heart? You started giving. You started giving back in some way with the stuff that you didn't need. Start getting creative about the ways you can give back and donate, and maybe this process will feel a little less heavy and a little bit more fun. One last thing I'll say about clothes and wardrobes is for women, I know there's this like fear of wearing something twice. And I know for me in school, I can remember like accidentally wearing a shirt back to back, right? And the comments that you get in school when you wear something twice. In the adult world, I have had a 10-item wardrobe now for at least 4 years. And I have never had anyone say to me, oh, you've been wearing that sweater a lot. In fact, I think I'd like to do an experiment where I wear the same dress for like a full month and see if anyone says anything, because honestly, I don't think they would. Adults don't care if you wear the same thing twice. In fact, what I've finally gotten, which is irony of ironies, is that people comment now about me being more stylish, about me having like a personal style or a style that they want to emulate. You get more stylish when you start to narrow down, when you start to minimize your wardrobe to fit your actual life. I truly love having a more minimalist closet. Go through your whole house, extreme clean it, unstuff it, and set you free from just the weight that so many women I think are stuck under of overconsumption, of indecision. And it's time to just live a less stressful life. I want that for more women. I want a world filled with more women like that. I want that for more men. I think a world filled with women that are set free could literally change men for the better. I don't know how you feel about that. I'd love to know in the comments. I certainly think it could change families. So thank you to those of you that watch for supporting me on this mission. And it's nice out. I think I'm gonna go outside. Peace.